Okay, my mic should be working now. Jenny! Jenny, it's been so many years. My mic should be working now. Jenny! Oh God, I heard myself talk. The worst outcome. Okay, so there's a lot to cover. Jenny, you need to start reading your DMs. Like, you really do. I sent you so many messages. I can't believe you're acting like this. How's everyone doing? By the way, how's everyone doing on this Sunday? Actually, it's Saturday. Hey, Paris, how are you? How's everyone? How are you all doing today? How are you all doing on this auspicious day? Um, yeah, Jen, so much has happened since you've been gone. But you can, if you've missed so many things that have been happening in the world, especially around Webtoon, you can watch my channel. I'm not that good at this, but I try. No, I need to start. Somebody told me I need to start marketing myself more earnestly. I'm really good at this. I don't just try; I succeed. Um, God, I need to get sushi. I haven't had sushi in so long. And pulled pork. The kids are eating so good. What am I doing wrong? When will I start eating that good? Oh God. Okay. Okay. Hi, Rosie. How are you? We live. We live. Hey, Shreepichu. Wait, why do I don't feel like I've never seen the name Shreepichu in chat before, and I see every name. Okay, Slam, don't start with that. Like, don't open with that. That's a terrible opener. You need a synopsis of the drama, Jen? All right, Jen, let me give you a quick synopsis. Bad thing happened. We don't know why. Oh, Kenshin in 10. That's expensive. Bad thing happened, Jen. We don't know why. Um, Webtoon involved. I ask question. We may get answer, maybe? Question mark. And then last week, funny thing happened. And that's kind of it. That's the news. Thank you for coming to today's TED Talk. Um that's actually all the news. Like, you've gotten everything. Oh my God, Rosie, you're finally old enough to drink in Europe. You joined the rest of us. Great work, kid. Honestly, great work. Like, actually, very happy for you. Getting older is hard, but you're doing it. You're doing it in style. This week has been kind of crazy because I've been basically face like nose down in one thing, and I haven't really looked up, and so a whole drama event happened around me, and I just didn't notice, and I think that says a lot about me today, about me lately, is just how much I've not been paying attention to this stuff, because I've been so focused on this story. I have so much to talk to you about today. Just letting a little bit of intro. Does it look legit? The narrative being presented wouldn't be surprising if it was true, but on the other hand, back of my head, it's complicated. The truth is it's complicated, and like, I'm not saying this is like a anybody's lying, because nobody's like, I want to just be very clear up front before I even get into the actual news, before anyone asks me any other fucking question. Um, I do not think for even a second that Explodikid is lying. I've I've looked into this thoroughly. I just want to say this now so that if you feel like you're having a bit of a flashback from the week before the last stream where I pointed out how some people were being a little bit facetious, this is not a story today. This is not a the story is a lie, but this is a complicated story, and I really want to make sure that I give all the angles, and we'll get to that story. But we'll start with the biggest thing that Matt happened this week. So let's roll that intro. What's the intro? I forgot my intro. God damn. Fuck. Wait. Okay, there it is. Remember, this episode is brought to you by my patrons on Patreon. Patreon members get something. They give me money though. They're super nice, and so many of them continue to support me. And I just want to make sure they know that I appreciate them. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Nan, and welcome to today's episode of the Webcomics Hubcast, Season 4, Episode 3. We are 5 months into the year and just at episode 3. What am I doing wrong, frankly? But yeah, season 4, episode 3, and we're back on our bullshit, is the least I could say right now. We're back on our crap. Um, I think we're gonna start with this story that I think is the most interesting, the biggest piece of drama that I've brought to this conversation, the most valuable story for today. Let's talk about Superlikes. I really liked this. Now, I want to just be super clear, and I want to be super upfront. You guys know that meme from Sailor Moon, the one where I forget his name shows up, and he's got like he's like, hold on, I'm gonna do like a quick transition. Um, you see this meme here? This meme is me around Superlikes. This meme is me. Okay, I showed up. I said nothing of value. It was already over when I was looking at it. By the time I paid attention, it was over. Okay, my job here is done, but you didn't do anything, and that's what happened. That's just the truth of the story. It was everybody else's valuable effort that really led to some of the changes that we've seen, and I kind of want to go over it. But first, I want to start by shouting out the goat, my usual pal of mine, Madamka. Love you to pieces. Love you to pieces. I hope you remember that. They started like the pushback against Webtoon with some of the changes, and we're gonna go into all the details. But I just wanted to start off by saying like big W to Madamka, continuing to show us why collective action is the most valuable thing that you can have in the face of any problems, especially when it comes to dealing with another company. Collective action, always valuable. And Madamka's starting to stink, and all of us kind of getting in on that, except me because I was busy. I don't know, eating glue or something. All of us doing that really led to the change that we saw, and that was super great. Anyway, bullying corporations is good, I promise. It's never been bad, ever. That's a lie. Anyway, let's start from the beginning. For anybody who doesn't know what happened. So, Webtoon introduced a feature called the Superlike, right? This is coming to us. I'm all my knowledge and information around this is coming courtesy of friend of the show and platform that I sometimes read news off, Comics Beat, and friend of the show, Adora Burp, who wrote this article. This is a really good one. And essentially, Webtoon introduced this feature called Superlikes. Now, I want to just be upfront with everybody. I've known about Superlikes coming for like about half a year. And I'm sorry for not telling you. I actually feel really bad because this kept on feeling like a nothing situation. And I just never talked about it. But if you remember a few streams ago, I mentioned the tipping system is coming back, everyone. Remember, the tipping system is still coming. That's because Webtoon told me that. And Webtoon told me Superlikes were coming. And they told me a week beforehand, so I knew. And I'm sorry I didn't warn you. Yeah, we passively talked about it, and like we didn't really think about it too much. But anyway, Webtoon Superlike program just launched, and the idea essentially is like Twitch bits. If you're on Twitch right now, it's literally like Twitch bits. It's a little bit like super thanks on YouTube or super chats, a little bit. The idea just being that you pay real money, and the real money results in some kind of on-platform currency that the creator can like have. Now on YouTube, it's just straight up cash. But on Twitch, it's bits, these things that convert to real money after a bit of time. And on Webtoon, it was Superlikes, just in case you didn't understand that entire mechanic. You pay real money, the creator gets a Superlike. More money gives more Superlikes. That's it. I think the maximum rate was about $100 gives 500 Superlikes, which means that about 5 Superlikes is about $1, give or take, if you buy at the best rates. You know how Webtoon is, their rates are scaling, so $1.99 is usually the lowest you can buy. Yeah, so 500 Superlikes is $100. Great, I'm not crazy. Thank you so much for that, Rainbow. So that's kind of like just for the rough math to come to you. Now, the issues that came with Superlikes were multiple fold, and I want to start with the first one that everyone kind of noticed. When Webtoon introduced the Superlike feature, the first thing they did was replace the "you can subscribe on Patreon" button that was on the app with the "you can give this creator Superlikes" button on the app. That was probably the biggest issue in my opinion. Because it leads to creators losing revenue, and it basically funnels all the money back to Webtoon through their internal monetary systems, and that's pretty bad. Um, that was the thing. It's essentially Tapas's ink system. Yes, Paris, it's literally Tapas's ink system, kind of worse. We'll get to that. But that was the thing. So that button thing was the thing that really pushed a lot of creators to getting angry about it on social media, among other problems. And that was the thing that got reversed very quickly. So that's not really an issue anymore. The next issue though that was noticed by creators was the way the money kind of got to them. You see, Webtoon rolled out their terms of service regarding Superlikes, and it was just very unclear. Even the Webtoon Now comic and lots of information sources were just really unclear. So creators didn't really understand how they were getting paid out. They were told they were getting paid 70% of net. Okay, that makes sense. As in, like, they were told they're getting paid 70% of the money that was going to be given by the user. So 70% of what do you call it? 70% of the fees from 70% of the money minus the fees from like Google Play or Apple App Store is what they understood, right? But what it ended up turning out to be was that it wasn't 70% of $70 for every $100 goes to the creator. It was actually more like $49 of every $100 goes to the creator. Because not only was the platform taking a 30%, not only was Google Play and Apple App Store taking a 30% cut, Webtoon was taking a 20% cut of that total amount of money as well, and leaving the creator with just under $50. So if you gave the creator $100, they would get $49 at the end. That for me was kind of fucking stupid. Because like it's just poor decision making. You tell people they're gonna get a tipping system for ages and ages and ages and ages, and the moment the tipping system comes in, you basically the creator gets less than half of the money that was given to them by the reader. That is on multiple levels deceptive to the reader, right? It's deceptive to the reader because to the reader, they think that they're supporting the creator when they're really not. They're actually supporting Webtoon and Apple more than anyone else, which is on its own, on its face, fucked up. I hate to say it. But the next problem on top of all of that is that the way the creator gets the money, this is something I'm going to introduce a bit of my ignorance soon here, but the way the creator gets the money is they can't withdraw the money you give them until they hit $100. So like, until they've been given $100 net, total net, not like $100 like you give them $100, until the money that gets into their account is $100, the creator cannot withdraw the money. But once it goes over 100, they can withdraw any amount over that. So if a creator ends up with $101 in their pot, they can withdraw $101 and up. $100 and up, every amount on top of that. Why I'm saying that will make sense in a moment. But essentially, the way that system seems to work is you give the creator $100, they get $49. So for the creator to make an actual withdrawal of their money, you need to give them about $202 in total for them to be even qualified for withdrawing their money. But they can withdraw that $100 and any additional money over $100 in their account. It's actually similar but different to the ad revenue system that creators work under. And this is me showing my ignorance here. I didn't know this. Webtoon's ad revenue system is worse than I thought. I'm so sorry for never talking about this. I made the mistake, and this is my fault. This is my fault from a lack of firsthand experience, because when I almost qualified for ads with the people I was working with, it kind of just fell off of it, and I didn't really focus on hitting ad revenue, so it never really occurred to me to think about. But the way Webtoon's current ad system, the ad system they had for ages works is when you make $100 of ad revenue, you can withdraw it. But if you make $105 of ad revenue, you can literally only withdraw the $100 and you've got to leave $5 behind. If you didn't know this, if you've never hit ad revenue, that's how it works. You can only withdraw in increments of $100. So if you have a $504 account, you leave $4 behind. If you have a $199 account, you leave $99 behind and you take the 100. So like, it's better than the regular ad revenue system, that's for sure. But holy shit, what's the ad revenue system doing? Why is every layer of monetization fucked up? You see, what I thought was gonna happen was all this money would go into a singular pool. I thought the Superlike money would go into where the ad revenue money goes, and then creators could just withdraw from that. But now after learning how the ad revenue money works, which is already fucked up, and the Superlike money is going to a separate pot because they know their ad revenue system is fucked up, you know, it's all kinds of bullshit. I sent an email to Webtoon asking them very direct questions about the system. They never got back to me. That's it. If they get back to me, I'll let you know. But right now, I'm pretty fucking angry. Like I hate to say it, this is bullshit. Like the system they introduced is bullshit. The original ad revenue system is already bullshit. Like, for context, for full transparency, on YouTube, because YouTube doesn't have YouTube is paying more and more people. The withdrawal minimum for YouTube is 60 pounds or about $80 US, right? If I make $80 US, I can withdraw $80 and up. It doesn't matter. That's it. In fact, I don't withdraw it. YouTube pays me against my will. Like, unless you don't put your bank details into it, YouTube forcibly gives you the money. It's actually crazy how they do it. They'll send a check to your goddamn house if they have to. I'm not kidding. So like, it's kind of cringe to watch a user content generated platform, user-generated content platform like Webtoon, essentially know that like they're holding other people's money, the creators' money, because it is their fucking money, and like make multiple layers of systems to basically stop them from getting that money, to make it more difficult, to make it harder for the end user to understand how that money gets to the creator. Why do people have to beg you to pay them? Why? I just think it's dumb. Look, I just think it's fucking dumb. And if you don't believe me, maybe you think I'm like full of shit and like I'm needlessly angry. I'm gonna do this for you, right? I'm gonna show you 2 screenshots that I had someone take from me, right? Of the systems, of both, because I have some thoughts on Namikomi, but that's not for today's stream. Of both, so you can like see you can see the evidence in front of you, okay? That way it's not like I'm just telling you stuff. It's like you can see what I'm seeing and you can make your own conclusions from that. Here. So this is the one for Superlikes. The way Superlikes works is very simple. You reach a $100 balance and then the payment can be processed. And if your current balance reaches or exceeds $100, the full amount will be paid on the payment date. So for example, if you earn under $100, it gets carried over to the next month. If you earn $115, the creator will get $115. If the creator earns $466, the creator will get $466. But understand, this money means that at least double that amount of money was paid to Webtoon. And the money was siphoned away by Apple and and Webtoon. Now, I want to say something really quickly about this while we're here, before I move on to the next one. Webtoon does one very important thing that I actually need to give them credit for. Webtoon pays all your transfer fees. So they pay your transfer fees to make sure you get the money. So if they're paying you through PayPal, they pay your transfer fees. If they're paying you through Patreon, they pay your transfer fees. So that is a thing that they do. And I'm not going to sit here and like not say it, right? But I just wanted to be said. They do pay you they pay for your transfer fees. Does it make up for this? Fuck no. But I just want it to be known. I want it to be said because I don't think it's right to not say. Now, this is how the regular ad revenue system works. Monthly payments are processed automatically in $100 increments. Therefore, you must reach $100 before payment is processed. So, for example, if you make $115 on Webtoon's ad revenue system, you will get $100 and they will hold on to $15. If you get $466, you will get $400 and Webtoon will hold on to $66. What the fuck? The regular, like, forget the Superlikes system being fucked up. That's a solution, right? You just tell people not to goddamn use it. But like, also, the regular system through which creators make money. I'm literally standing in my office right now because I'm so mad. The regular way through which creators make money is also fucked. Is actually more fucked up. You're literally holding their money. Fuck. Ken, CEO of Webtoon, Ken Kim. CEO of Webtoon, Ken Kim. Why are you fighting for $15 from somebody's money? I've taken off my headphones. I'm so angry right now. Like, I haven't been this angry. I found this out yesterday. I found this out yesterday because I didn't know. And I'm so fucking mad. What the fuck? Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. Like, what a great way to tell people that they can go fuck themselves. Holy shit. If I make $2,050, you're gonna pinch me for $50 on your platform? Are you for fucking real? Like, are you being serious? Fuck me, dude. Jesus Christ. I need to calm the fuck down because I'm actually so mad. I'm actually so angry. Like, I haven't been this angry about anything in a little while. Like, I need a minute. Like, I thought the thing I was gonna be the angriest about would be the second story of today, but this actually pissed me off. What the fuck, dude? Like, this doesn't even add on to the fact that unless you have video ads, which isn't that much better, by the way. Unless you have video ads, I haven't even done the swear jar. Yeah, guys, there's gonna be a swear jar system soon. I've been implementing the code, and I'm just getting all of my swears out today because I need to get out of myself. But like, I just want to get this one out of the way, right? This doesn't include the fact that unless you get video ads, which is not that much better, Webtoon's ad rates, typical ad rates, are all less than $1 per 1,000 views. So somewhere between about 40 and 78 cents per 1,000 views. This is data that I got from surveying multiple creators, at least 30 different creators, for their ad revenue payouts and their view counts, and averaging across everybody. So about 40 to 78 cents per 1,000 views. Video ads will probably make that like $1 or $2 per 1,000 views. My channel on YouTube gets about $5 to $10 per 1,000 views. I am a high CPM baby. I'm a $10 per 1,000 views baby. I don't know why. This is webcomics. Nobody cares about this company, this place. But I'm a $10 per $10 CPM baby, right? 5 to 10. And I understand that comics will have a lower ad threshold because they use different ads and all that stuff. I get it. I really do get it. I'm not here coming at Webtoon because ad rates are bad. Because ad rates being bad is not their fault. Ad rates being bad is the ad company's fault and like whoever's negotiating Webtoon's ads fault. That's it, right? But I think it's just, these people are earning pennies and you're pinching $15. You're pinching small amounts of money. Are you a joke? Like, I'm being so for real. Are you a joke? Look, I like being level-headed about this stuff. I like being calm and collected and talking about this stuff with a certain level of understanding the other side's complexity. Because fundamentally, companies have complexity, okay? The people who want to make good decisions and the people who are allowed to make decisions are not always the same people. And so I'm not here to fucking shit on everybody and be like, Webtoon is the worst company in the world. I don't think that is true, remotely. But I think it's important to be very upfront about when they really fuck up. And like, they've been fucking this one up for like 10 years. Get your actual shit together. Please, I'm begging you, okay? I'm begging you so much. You have so many other problems. This cannot be one of your other problems. Like, you do not have the room for this to be one of your other problems. God, my editor is going to have a terrible time editing this because I swear so much. if you hear this, if you get when you get to this video, but I'm sorry, kind of. Anyway, look, like Katie says, like, yeah, I've been keeping track of my views to money rate on Webtoon. I get about $1 per thousand, but 1 to 2K views. So Katie, what we you probably know this, and like I'm not, I shouldn't say this to you. I don't want to sound like I'm mansplaining. I'm sorry. I don't want to be they-splaining to you right now. So I'm gonna say this to everybody. Everybody, just to make sure, when you're counting your views to money ratio, right? Make sure you count in what's called CPM, cost per billy, or cost per thousand views. It's what makes it like really easy for you to understand. And this is not me telling anyone off. I'm just letting you know so that if you need to talk to anybody else about it, so you can understand your friend's CPM, talk about it in terms of money per thousand views. So 50 cents per thousand views is 50 cent CPM, if that makes sense. I just want to make this little PSA so you know. That's it. I want everyone to know. Okay? That's it. Moving on. Hopefully Katie doesn't feel attacked because, like, you know, I'm happy to have more people in the chat. Like, the thing is, Webtoon fixes stuff on the site. I praise them for doing their job. I think maybe I'm not aware of myself. You know, guys, call me out here for real. But I think I do a really good job of making sure to give Webtoon their props when they really don't do anything wrong. When they do the right thing, I hope I'm giving them their props. But I also want to make sure that, like, I think it's really fucked up when what they're doing there. I think that's really bad. Yeah, you can track all of that, Paris. Ad revenue goes up and down over the year. So the lowest I've seen ad revenue for a creator is 28 cents per thousand views. 28 cents is the lowest I've ever seen. But it's not like you can't get lower. I've just seen that low once. Given the green light. Okay, can we, like, I'm gonna, like, center myself, right? I'm gonna center myself. Let's talk a little bit more about Superlikes. Because there's one more thing I want to point out. It's the ranking. Okay. So you guys have all probably noticed that there's a Webtoon Superlike ranking. And I've been talking to a few friends about this. And this thing is like the thing that really makes this feature bad to me. And I don't mean it in like I don't like the feature. I mean, it's a poorly designed, poorly thought out feature. And whoever designed it, one, needs to get fired, frankly. They're not doing a good job. But two, whoever designed it needs to rethink how they design things for maybe outside of Korea. In Korea, this system might work amazingly, perfectly well, wonderfully well, right? But as Ajani has already said in chat, Ajani, stop stealing my lines, you son of a bitch. Every time you do that, I will move the sweet potato pie stream back 1 hour. Anyway, no, but as Ajani has said, you can buy ranking in the Superlike rankings. Superlikes, Ligus is a new feature on the Webtoon app. Superlikes. Yeah, you can Paris, I'd love you if you message it to me. I'd love you if you message it to me. We can sit down, we can talk about it. Maybe we can help you calculate it and stuff like that. And make sure that we know you can know what to expect on a normal basis. But anyway, what was I saying? Yes. So the main thing to talk about here, my bad, I got distracted for a second, is the Superlike rankings on the Canvas section. There is no system that blocks a creator from buying themselves Superlikes currently. 1. 2, even if there was, it's an easily gameable system. Look, I'm opening the app right now. The top Webtoon by Superlikes has 500 Superlikes, which is $100. For the cost of $100, you too can rank. If you just pay yourself $100, hell, actually, here's the fucking strat. Pay yourself $200. Pay yourself $200, and then poor Rainbow Pegasus. If somebody wants to gift him a sub on Twitch, he can. Everyone getting ads right now. I'm sorry. But yeah, for the cost of $200, if you pay yourself $200, you can get a first spot ranking on the Superlike rankings on the Webtoon app, which means you get like a form of advertising for yourself. Yeah, money pushes your ranking up. Not like your actual app ranking, just in this one place called the Superlike rankings that they've just made, right? The Superlike rankings. If you can just be given money to rank up. That's it. It lets you rank. In fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot of my app because I just to make sure everyone can see what I'm talking about, because I don't want anyone to be confused. And a few people seem to be. I just want to make sure I catch it now. Um, I need to open the chat where I'm just gonna send it to one of my friends. I hope they understand. Anyway, anyway, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sending your friends messages so that you can have things on screen. Guys, I'm gonna show you something. Promise me you're not gonna look. You're not gonna look at my what do you call it? At my battery level on my phone, please. Okay. Please don't look at the battery level of my phone. Anyway, in the canvas section and on the main page of the site, look, this exists now. It's called the Superlike rankings. Zag him so you can see it. If you pay $100, you you get to rank, right? Because this is number one in the ranking. My emo crush. 500 Superlikes is only $100. It's only $100. Guys, chat, please. We're talking about something important. Stop getting in my way right now. Oh, check please been on Webtoon for like at least a few months now. Anyway, so so you can rank with this. So if you pay $200, right, you get $202. You get $100 back, and then your Webtoon looks, and then your Webtoon ranking will keep you at the top of the rankings for a day. You can pay to win. Look, if your daddy has $1,000, because the thing is, that I need to say the rankings reset every single day. Every day the rankings reset. So if your daddy has $1,000, you can keep yourself ranked at the top by spending $100 every day for like 10 days. You can get 10 days of being ranked number one right now. And like the problem with this is when people realize how these systems work, a friend of mine pointed out that like these systems are recursive, right? So like what I mean is this. Let's say me and Sim want to rank on the thing. I pay $100 to rank. Sim sees that I'm number one, wants to overrank me. Sim pays $200. So I pay $300. Then Sim pays $400. And it's gonna keep going until it hits the plateau. And the plateau could be high enough. It could be $1,000. So creators will be giving Webtoon $1,000, of which Webtoon will take 21%. So $200. Creators will be giving Webtoon $200 just to rank for a day. And that could be a reality we live in. That could be a reality we live in. It's fucking crazy because, and you might be like, no, that will never happen. Dude, people pay $5,000 so they can get a 5-star gacha girl on a goddamn mobile game called Arknights. Okay? I know people who still play Fate. People will pay for the dumbest shit. So you think ranking the comic that is their entire heart and soul for $1,000 is beyond another human being? You are crazy. People do that for free. They'll do that just cause. Okay? They'll do that because their egos are so tied up in this. Okay? What is stronger? Your ego, the thing that you love, tied up into this content that you're making? Or Arknights girlies? I promise you, it is your ego. It's the thing that you love. The Arknights girlies will not be paid today. People bought pet rocks. I'm just saying. Some whale is going to be funding Webtoon for months just to keep their comic at the top of the Superlike rankings. This is such a poorly designed system. Again, whoever invented this needs to actually be fired. I hate to say it. This is the behavior of somebody who does not like the people who use this app. I'm going to be so real with you. Because this behavior, you're pushing what is essentially like a gacha system onto a bunch of creators. That's so predatory. That's so predatory. Like if you cared about this at all, you would at least make sure that creators couldn't buy their own way up the ranking for their own accounts. That's actually the craziest part. With my own account, I can buy my own comic up. What? Come on, man. God. Anyway, that's the one that really pissed me off at the end of all of this. This is the one that really really made me upset. Let me see what chat's saying. Soul the Soul, you said, I saw one of the creators who makes the reboot of Codename Colors. I saw the one of the so that one of the creators made the rebuild codename Colors. Webtoon might be the one that deleted it off the Webtoon, but the old canvas is up. It was confusing, but I wonder what's not true. Oh, you talking about the creator whose work got deleted all of a sudden? I have no idea what happened there. I think his account just got. I think the dude's account just got compromised, which sucks. Like, which sucks. Gotcha abuse maxing. Legitimately gotcha abuse maxing. I'm so pissed. Buying your own Superlikes is not oversight. It's a feature. The thing with Webtoon is like the communication. I've spoken to enough people at Webtoon now. The internal communication in Webtoon is bad. Like, it's a noticeably bad thing. People will say things, and then people inside of their departments will say something else. It lets me know that, like, there's a communication problem, not just to us as people, not just to the creators and to the readers, but internally there's a communication problem. And like, so this could easily just be an oversight, is my point. And the worst part about it is either, as Sim says, either they don't care or they're doing this on purpose, and both are bad. Because this is such an obvious thing to see. Like, it took me maybe two conversations. I don't know. I always knew they were going to implement a Patreon-like system eventually, but the ranking system rubs me the wrong way. Look, the tipping system is not a good one. It's bad. It basically helps monetize their company. But like, here's my tinfoil hat. And this is all an allegation. This is an allegation. I am not saying that anybody told me this from the company. I am not saying that this is guaranteed true. This is me just making a claim here. Very careful here. I genuinely think that one of the reasons they put this feature in is because they understood that a lot of people's money will get tied up in the system. And one of the things that is often happening when a company is considering going public, which is currently a market rumor about Webtoon, that they will go public, as in they will try and list themselves on the stock exchange so that they can be a publicly traded company and people can buy ownership of the company. One of the things that often is needed to do that is to shore up a certain reserve of cash. Even if the money belongs to someone else, the fact that the money exists in your pocket can be a really valuable thing to have on the books. And so my tinfoil hat theory, my legitimate conspiracy theory, this is legitimately just a conspiracy. There is no evidence for this. My conspiracy theory is that they made this feature because there is like the added bonus, not the primary point, but the added bonus that several people won't be able to cash it out. And as such, they will have like a relatively large amount of reserves. Now, that's complete conjecture. There's no evidence for that. It could easily just be an oversight. But like, I've seen companies do this before for that reason. And that's why I'm making this claim and this conjecture, this conspiracy theory. But I just wanted to tell you where my mind went to. And like, that it might just never be true. It might just be genuine oversight. They are bad at stuff. So, you know, I just want that to be known. Anyway, next news. Let's take a quick break. Let's take a quick break, everyone. Just a quick break. Oh my God, I've not finished the forest. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the in-stream ad portion of the stream. I'm missing a few images. I'm missing at least 3 of the cow pictures that people have made for me, and at least 1 of the Nen drawings that people have made for me. I'm sorry. I'll fix this soon enough. Anyway, here's the ad, and it's a very simple one. Support me on Patreon, please, or give me money on Ko-fi. Both of them are things that you can do at any point in time, and they really support the projects that I work on that are usually pro creator, or just support me and allow me to make this more and more my job. And if you can't do either of those things, because money is tight and the economy is bad and the cost of living crisis, which is super fair, please like and share my videos. Like, that is probably the biggest thing you can do for me, if nothing else. Subscribing, liking, and sharing my stuff so other people can see it from YouTube, because that's how my channel grows. Lately, the support has been insane, and the channel has been doing a lot better than I've ever seen it do. And so I want to keep growing, because then this could become my entire life. And that would be actually really funny. Help Also, if I get enough money, I'll be able to go to Korea in September. There's a big Webtoon event in Korea. I want to go there and live stream it for everybody. We could go around all of Korea, go to all the Webtoon places, talk to lots of people. I can even drag my Korean friend. It'll be great. Please. Let me go to Korea. Anyway, that's the ad portion done. On to the rest of the video. Then in Korea episode should really be a thing, to be honest. Okay, I'm just naming the section. Let's go on. Okay, I don't know what that was. There must have been an advert in there. I hope you listened to it and did what the ad said. But even if you didn't, welcome back to the rest of the stream. And we're getting into the Explodikid Chronicles. I'm calling it that because I think it's funny. So this bit, I have to be like very measured because this bit was actually really serious. And it was actually very serious to me. This is why I didn't notice the Superlike thing. I was focused on this. So I'm going to start by showing you the beginning of everything here for me. And for me, the beginning of all of this was this tweet from Explodikid that said, my publisher Webtoon. This was tweeted April 19th, 2024. Okay? It says, my publisher Webtoon is trying to sabotage my graphic novel launch by deleting my credits off my episodes and prohibiting me from telling my own readers that the webcomic they read is available as a book. The credits they are deleting are shown below, and this is the credit they're deleting. Okay? There's more. There's more information, and you can go to the tweet. Lol, Sim, your birthday is April 19th. Sorry, I have ADHD. Sim, your birthday is April 19th. My birthday is a month before yours. I don't think I've ever told people that before, but my birthday is March 19th, so that's fun. What's a DHD? Okay, get out, Basil. Anyway, so this was the beginning tweet. You can go read this tweet. It's on Explodikid's account. It's still up. There's a lot there. This is the beginning of the tweet. It kind of led me down a bit of a rabbit hole because that seemed very, like somebody at the beginning of the stream said this. It just seems a bit much, especially coming off of the nightmare scandal the week before. For context, the week before this book situation came up, Webtoon was already in a different controversy, right? Webtoon had just come out of a controversy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it shouldn't have been a complicated thing for them to basically avoid controversy here, right? Avoid these issues, avoid these problems. Because essentially, if you're coming off of, let me see, where's the goddamn email? I'm opening my email to find out which one it was. If you're coming off of 2 Reddit posts claiming that you are an exploitative company, this is probably the worst time to be in the middle of this, right? And I have to say, honestly, I don't know if this was on purpose or not, on purpose or not, but whoever timed the post for Explodikid, great work, great timing. Like, I don't think it was like some kind of 5D chess situation, but you know, I think it's great timing to have posted it right after that because the attention on Webtoon's wrongs were really high and it got you the attention you deserved for the situation. So honestly, good play. Anyway, back to the thing that I wanted to get to. So I read this and I had a lot of questions. So I went directly to the source. I didn't waste my time with conjecture and like wondering if X or Y was true. I went to Webtoon and I asked them directly, yo, what the fuck? Right? And I'm going to tell you exactly what they told me. Okay? I went to Webtoon and I asked them specifically about this situation. I talked to them about Explodikid and their tweets. I asked them about Refrainbow and their tweets, talking about the poor way in which their comic was handled by the Webtoon IP development team. IP development just means taking your comic and making it into other things, right? And I was very direct in the things that I asked them about. They gave me answers. Some of them I can't tell you, but the main thing here that I can tell you is Webtoon gave a response, a formalized response, and I'm going to read it as such. Webtoon said, providing creators with a platform to build a global fandom and make money is our priority for Webtoon. We have a long-standing policy about advertising and promotions within series. We offer multiple spaces within the platform that enable creators to promote their off-platform work and share important updates with fans, including author's notes and creator profile. Creators can use the creator profile to promote any projects as long as the content of the post adhere to community guidelines. This can include direct sales links in their bios. We are reviewing our processes to make sure our in-episode advertising policies are clear and consistent, along with ways we can better support creators to promote their work on and off of Webtoon. Webtoon claims that essentially what Explodikid was asking for, to be able to market their comic within an actual episode of Covenant, was against a long-standing policy. That was the words they used, long-standing policy, right? They couldn't. It was against a long-standing policy, and they maintained those policies around in-episode advertising and promotions, even though they have in the past been mildly inconsistent. They did agree to that. They then proceeded to talk about how they do always regularly try to work with creators and the creators' publishers to find ways to promote their work via banners, landing pages, and push notifications. And they also offer typical advertising at special rates for the creators. And they treat the creators' publishers as higher level, like distinguished advertisers, which means that like they give them a certain space. And they also said that for any Webtoon that is in Webtoon Unscrolled, they're also giving that ad space as an investment. So essentially, if you're not with Webtoon Unscrolled, you gotta pay. If you're with Webtoon Unscrolled, because they're spending money on you, they'll do it for you. They'll pay for you if because they're spending money on you. Is how they see it, right? But essentially, for when they do it for their creators, it's an investment of money. Other people gotta put their money down for that for the banner on the green app, right? Hey, Madamka, you came after the bit where I said nice things about you. Huh? Why do you show up after I say all the good things about you? After I tell everyone about how you saved a baby from a tree. Good to see you, by the way. I actually am very glad to see you. No, it was the Superlikes. Talked about Superlikes. That's all. And so I took that. Now, I will say this. Webtoon admits that their in-episode advertising policy has been inconsistently, and they don't admit this, but somebody I talked to in Webtoon has admitted to me that the in-episode advertising policy is inconsistent. Like it just isn't. It's not been consistent, right? They've allowed several things to get through. If you're and that has been a genuine problem, right? Because it has led to confusion among the creators who are featured. And you're right, they should revise and remove. If that's what they're going to make their policy, they should actually stick to it. But here's something that happened. I want to just say this one last thing. I was speaking to somebody internally about this because I was like, okay, cool, inconsistent, but you say there's a route for creators to get their in-episode advertisements going. You know, there's a route for a creator to be able to advertise their comic in episode if they can strike a deal between you, Webtoon, their agent, and their publisher and the creator. Like if they can strike a deal with Webtoon, there's a way for that to happen. They've listed that clearly, that they will offer advertising space at special rates. They will allow them to purchase that space to help the creator do well. Because as Webtoon said to me themselves, on record for this specific statement, creators doing well is good for Webtoon, not just good for the creator. And they will have, and if they for self-publishing, the person I spoke to claimed that they will have those conversations. They will speak to those people. They will have the conversations with the creators. And so when my source that I was speaking to internally said to me, "Oh, you know, we're currently actually speaking to Explodikid," and this is stuff that I was told kind of in a weird situation, But essentially, I was told that they were currently already speaking to Explodikid. That like the tweet kind of caught them off guard. That's weird. And so I did the only sensible thing I could do. I DM'd Explodikid. And this was where shit got really fucking weird for me. Because like I DM'd Explodikid, who I'm not confident about saying their name. I don't want to say it wrong. I'm not confident about their pronouns. So I'm gonna use they, them, and I hope they don't get mad at me. Okay. I just want to say that up front. I looked, I didn't want to directly ask because it felt kind of weird to ask, what are your pronouns, by the way? So I just kept looking for somewhere where it was listed and I couldn't find it. So I'm just going to say they, them. And I think that's the respectful, good response. Anyway, I just want to be upfront about why I'm doing it, okay? If you know them personally, you probably know the correct pronouns. I'm just going to keep being respectful. So I spoke to Explodikid, and they actually agreed to a very short, mostly off the record interview where I could ask them a couple of questions and then I could get a few things back. One of the first things that I got back was I spoke to them about Webtoon claiming that their policy, the policy around advertising, was long-standing. Because what I was told by my source wasn't just that it was long-standing; it's that this information is regularly told to the creator. So it's not done in like a vacuum. The creator is told by their publisher, not by publisher, by someone. Somewhere in the chain, they're informed. They said usually their editor, but the editors are swamped under a billion layers of work. You would hope that there would be a more official way of letting a person that you are signing a contract with know everything about them, maybe a little handbook. I hope they give them a handbook, but I didn't look into all of that. The editors are overworked as hell. If they didn't tell the creators, I'm not going to hold it against them, if I'm being honest with you. The company should create a formalized official system for doing that. And it can be as simple as an email with a PDF explaining what you can and can't do, which should be given before they sign the goddamn contract. Anyway, I spoke to Explodikid about this, and they claimed that, honestly, hold on, let me get it. But honestly, they just kind of like, they haven't really been told this properly. There's been no like official proper conversation that has happened with them. And that was sad. That was very upsetting because, that sucks. They have never been made aware of any other long-standing policy beyond the concept that their title card, so in their comic, their title card cannot be longer than 1,000 pixels long. That's all they've been told about long-standing policies. Interesting, I think. I think that's an interesting situation. And then I spoke to them about the rest of the information. Like, for example, that from my source that they were in talks with Explodikid. That Webtoon was in talks with Explodikid. And I can't say what I was told, but I didn't get a favorable response to that. It was essentially, I'm going to paraphrase here, but not really. Like, what Webtoon had led me to believe was not what was true in reality, is the best way I can say it. And like, as a creator, Explodikid must have been incredibly frustrated by this situation, because essentially they've succeeded on this platform and they've come back to this platform to essentially put themselves in a position where they can come back to this platform and say, hey, look, I'm succeeding. I'm going to be selling books. I'm proof that your system works. And the platform that they're pointing out that they're coming to and saying, look, I am proof their system works, because of whatever internal motivations has decided to kind of just shoot them in the foot, to be honest, in my perspective, And I think it's just been legitimately frustrating to this whole situation been legitimately frustrating because the moment Explodikid told me about basically told me no to my question of like have you know they claimed that there have been talks. I need you to understand that my house of cards like came crashing down. I need to just say this like right here and now. Everything came crashing down for me because I had written 15 questions all based around this idea of the talks because I had believed that the talks were happening. I had believed that that the negotiations were true because I want to believe the people I talk to. Like, for all the faults of the company, I think the individual people in there are doing their best. And I want to believe the things that are happening internally. And I want to believe when somebody tells me something. And so when the response I get basically lets me know, when I query or look into something that somebody tells me, and it turns out to not be true in the way that it was communicated to me, that's very heartbreaking. Maybe I'm being a big baby, but that hurts, right? That hurts, and and I can't imagine what that is like when you're the person working there. Because this is my job, but this isn't my job. Like I don't have to talk to people at Webtoon at least once a week, right? I don't have to communicate with them and argue with them for my ability to market myself. And so, like, it was just I can't imagine how frustrating that is when that is your job, when that is part of your daily routine, your weekly routine, is communicating up to this nightmare company that, for whatever reason, frames situations that you're involved in a way that may not, strictly speaking, be as it is. And this is the thing, I want to be clear. I don't think the person who spoke to me lied at Webtoon. I don't think they lied. I want to be like super clear. I don't think they lied to me. But I do think something is wrong with the way information is communicated internally to the point where somebody thought that they were having productive conversations with the creator who was clearly not having a good time with them. Having a bad enough time that they made a long tweet thread about it. That's fucked up, dude. That's actually fucked up. That's fucked up. Like, and like, I think the worst part about it is like this promo thing is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so childish and nonsensical. Because, okay, I can say this, but I can't show you anything. I like roughly know what was said in terms of like the takedown, and like, God, it's so petty. So my perception is that it's petty as hell, right? My perception is that it's petty as hell. Like, every single layer of this is somebody succeeding and proving to your company, to your multi-million-dollar company, in the year when you are planning to go public, to show people. My editor just sent me. Oh, my editor is gonna be. I need to talk to him in a second. Sorry, he just sent me a message that interrupted my entire thought process. Anyway, like in a year when you are planning, market rumor or not, to engage in higher level business, somebody is working forward to you. One of the people that you basically are part of their growth, for good and for bad, is there and saying to you, "Hey, I've succeeded, and I want to be able to show my success to the people on your platform," and you just deny them that for no real reason. That's just weird. That's absolutely absurd. Like, you could have worked with them much easier. You could have had a formalized system. Like, the thing with this is, Webtoon has been doing physical publishing, but the thing with this is, all of this didn't need to be a negotiation. Make a formalized system for the creators that allows them to know exactly how much things will cost when they choose to not work with Webtoon, and make those costs reasonable, because these people have still given you value. Like, even if you want to say that the Covenant cost you, I don't know, how much does Webtoon give? I think the last amount I remember was 50K. Let's pretend they only give 50K to everybody. even if you gave Covenant 100K, they've definitely made you that money and more. So I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand like this stinginess. And this is like a thread today, right? This is like a thread today. In everything we've seen, they're just a very random, odd, like just stinginess for like $1. For like $1, for like a small space in a comic, for like literally nothing. For literally nothing. And I just like it's frustrating to experience from my perspective. And I'm not the one dealing with this on a day-to-day. This is not my day-to-day. This is not my week-to-week, right? This is none of our week-to-weeks right now. Thank God. But imagine this is your week-to-week. Just think of everything I've talked about today. Think of every random penny-pinching, stingy, weird, needlessly bureaucratic thing I've spoken about today. And just imagine that being every conversation, meeting, and thing you do, even when you're doing well. Understand, you're not like doing badly. You're not draining their pockets. You are inflating their pockets, and they still do this to you. You are a golden child in terms of production. Like, fuck it. I'm opening fucking Webtoon. I'm opening the website. Because this is actually frustrating the hell out of me. Like, right? Like, Covenant is like one of the series that is regularly is still doing really well. It's regularly still doing really well, right? All of these tweets, the tweet thread that Explodikid put out there, got their book to #3 on Amazon for pre-orders. They're a successful creator who has done more than enough. I don't understand. It's not like they're sitting down taking your money and doing nothing else. This creator is providing you value. At least treat them well. Like, I don't understand. Like, remember, there are creators on Webtoon right now that are signed to Webtoon right now that do not put numbers like Explodikid does. That do not have even close to the same numbers. And they've been making for about as long. And this is how they treat Explodikid. Imagine what they do to those people. Like, if this is how you treat someone doing well, what will you do to me when I'm doing badly? That's how I feel when I think about this, right? Like, the thing that comes to mind for me is like, this is like, like one of the reasons, like earlier we talked about how like YouTube, like making a small tangent, how YouTube is not like that bad, right? Somebody mentioned that. And I've always thought that because when you're good on YouTube, when YouTube loves you, YouTube treats you so well. Holy hell, they treat you so well. $30 CPM on every video. You get on the trending every week. YouTube treats you so well when they like you. When you're doing well, when you're putting up numbers. You could make fun of them every week, but when you're putting up numbers, YouTube keeps you up there. Right up there, right? Like, what the fuck, dude? And so dumb. It's so dumb. And like I think what makes it worse is like, speaking to Explodikid, I was like, hey, you know, you like you did a lot of work to get readers onto your work. And Explodikid did. They had an 80,000 follower Twitter account for all the good and bad that has, right? And like they did the work to get people to read their stuff. They've done a lot of high quality marketing. I've seen it. I've seen the marketing because before I even knew who they were, I saw the half naked priests. They were at my doorstep, against my will. Frankly, it was fun to see, but it was against my will because like their marketing worked, So like fundamentally, they've done the work. They've shown that they do the work, and like they've brought people onto the platform for the company. And so you would think that the company would prioritize them a little bit more. You would think that the company wouldn't take actions that could financially affect them negatively, right? You would think that they would do all these, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that. And I think the thing is, I asked Explodikid, like, what do you want at the end of all of this? Like, you know, let's just say all of this goes, all of this ends tomorrow. What do you want out of it? And this, I just want to be able to promote my book to my readers, which is because other creators have been allowed to do that before me, and I totally get that you want to like. If other creators have allowed to do that before me, I want to be able to promote my book, and I think that's reasonable, and I agree with them because even if other creators have, even if Webtoon wants to say, we messed up, we were inconsistent, but we're trying to be more consistent with our policies, then like enforce the consistency after the creator has done the ad, not before, because you could have done that. You could have been like, okay, Explodikid, you're the last one who gets this good treatment. Okay, you get to do this. Everyone else from now on, this is the new policy. It's been a thing, but we weren't enforcing it properly. This is the policy we're going to be enforcing it from now on. You could have done that. You could have done that because then that was when your alarm bells went off that you weren't enforcing your policy. So you could have done it post that. But you chose to do this petty thing needlessly. And you wasted a week of my life, which I'm still mad at. I looked into this and then I have to find out that I wasn't being told the whole truth. Not very happy with myself. Not very happy with the situation. God, like it's crazy. You create a system through which you tell creators they'll be supported by readers, but it doesn't really support them in any meaningful capacity. The previous system didn't really support them in any meaningful capacity. And then you can't even support the people that you signed to contracts. Look, I don't want to be a fucking like asshole. I mean, I am a bit of an asshole, but I don't want to be a full-fledged asshole here. But this is like this is not a good look, girl. I hate to say it. Like this is not a good look. This is bullshit. This is shocking. This is shocking behavior because there was no need. There was no need at all, at any point in this process, to do this, right? To create these structures, to enforce policies this way. I understand that you wanted to do things your own way. You wanted to create successful systems for yourself, but you can do that in a way that is not destructive, right? You can do that in a way that does not leave creators like in the lurch. I don't fucking know. You can do this better, at least. I think you can because I've seen them do it better. You have enough money to do this better. You're $1 billion company. This is the thing. This isn't Webtoon from 2014. That's four guys. One of which that's four guys and David Lee. That's like David Lee and Kenny Comics and like two other guys or whatever the original staff was. You're a full-fledged company right now. You're $1 billion company. You are a multinational corporate environment. You're a near monopoly in an industry with like 20 other players right now. Looking like you're being beneficial, looking like you're treating your creators good is the number one way to keep yourself competitive. Because no matter how big you get, there's no giant that cannot be toppled. And you would do best to learn from that. Because bigger companies than you have died quicker deaths. Cool. They've done dumb shit. There's stuff I haven't told you guys. Like there's like there's stuff I haven't brought up to you guys because they've done some dumb shit. But it is what it is. I want to go into more detail, but like for a lot of reasons. One, I want to protect the privacy of the people I've spoken to. Two, I don't want to put anyone in a bad space. I don't want to put anyone in a bad space. And three, I think this is an issue that is systemic and not one where any targeted individual needs to be looked at. As much as I mentioned Ken Kim earlier, because I think it's funny to talk about the CEO, because I think it's funny. Fundamentally, it's giving it's clear that like if this system is refusing to change, the creators need something better. That's it. That's what I think. Yeah. Iliac. I mean, Webtoon does nothing to allow different readers to customize their preferences. What do you mean by that, Iliac? Also, hey, I'm surprised you're here, but all right. He's not. No, Ken isn't really the CEO. Sim. Ken Kim isn't the CEO. He's always called the CEO, but he's not the CEO. He's actually like the like second in command or something at the company. The real CEO is a guy called Junkyo Kim. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Getting the same homepage as other people. Like, if you want a homepage that's built off of like your preferences and stuff, that makes sense. But like when you're a platform that focuses on selling, like when you're a publisher that sells the books that you make, yeah, that's usually how you build your apps to prefer the books that you make. I don't disagree that they need way more customization in what people get to see. It needs to be tailored to what you read, but that's what it is. I don't know why you chose to use this. Those a bit, but yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I don't think that's like the biggest issue, but I do understand like they don't provide a great reader experience. Anyway, I got question time. It's question time. While we're doing question time is right now. While we're doing question time, remember to hit like the video. I can see how many people like the video. Like the goddamn video. Do it. Like, share, and subscribe while we do questions. Ask me whatever you want to ask. We have 30 people. We had 35 people at peak. It was really cool, actually. I'm super proud of the fact that we hit that number. It's cool. Anyway, like, really, really question. What did Madamka say? They better fix their mess and not fall, though, because I don't have the energy to deal with the aftermath of their potential fail. You know, what's interesting, Madamka, this is something I wanted to say earlier, but I kind of left behind. I agree, right? Like, I don't I don't want to deal with Webtoon's failure because I know that the fallout of that is so bad for creators. It's going to be so bad for readers. It's going to lead, unless a very specific set of things happen, I can see it going terribly. And I have some ideas of what could happen, but yeah. If a creator puts an effort, it takes like 5 seconds to hit that. Like, what? It's also like, why doesn't Webtoon try to diversify its audience? Actually, you know what, Iliac? Um, that's a great question, Iliac. Right? Like, why doesn't Webtoon try to diversify its audience? Because it's not worth doing. So, like, what you're talking about is if you want to be the YouTube of comics, create a diversified environment for more people to come and read stuff, right? Thing is, Webster doesn't want to be a YouTube of comics. They just keep saying that because it's a great tagline. It's a great tagline. But Webtoon actually wants to be a publisher with a captive audience. That's it. Most published the current structure of comics and of books in general, right, is that a publisher puts a book out, it goes to 900 different stores, and then they have to do a bunch of advertising to get the books to be sold. Imagine if you could literally trap a room full of people in front of you and tell them a book is coming out. You're gonna fucking read it. That's what Webtoon wants. And that's what they've made. That's what they've constructed. A lot of the platforms are constructing themselves like that, right? Like the CEO of Namikomi said this, and he was right. Originals do nothing but serve the purposes of the platform. That's it. Originals do nothing but to serve the purpose of the platform. Original structures, originals comics are a structure that exists for a publisher to essentially create a captive audience and throw stuff at them. And so, like, your question you're asking, like, where should this comic go? Where should that comic go? How do we capture a diversified audience? Webtoon doesn't want that. Webtoon never wants that kind of stuff. Webtoon wants a controlled system of the exact same people, exact same kind of guy, gal, person, right? Because that way they can keep selling the books to that captive audience. Who's supposed to serve the non-Webtoon audience? Honestly, Webtoon doesn't care. I think there are places that you could go. You know, there's lots of other platforms that do exactly what you're asking for. But as of right now, the way the industry is structured, none of them are in a position of power where they're comfortable enough that you can really say that there's like 15 years in them. A few of them have shown some longevity. Global Comics is like 5 years old. Longevity. I work there, so I'm gonna put that as like a thing. what'd you call it? Namikomi looks like it might have some longevity in it, but I have some questions and doubts. I don't want to like get into it though because like I don't want to put stink on the company's name when I don't have any reason to. Like it's just me getting like salty over things that could just be nothing burgers. I want to let them run and be free. And like who else is doing some? You can still go back to Tapas. It fucking sucks there, but you can go there. Look, I'm gonna be so rude with you, so leader. Don't put your no. I'm gonna say it now. And Jenna is gonna get mad at me for saying this. Jenna's gonna be mad at me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Don't put your goddamn shit on Tapas. Do not put your shit on Tapas. Tapas does not like you. Tapas does not like you. Studio Tapas doesn't like you. Kakao doesn't like you. Kakao ran their own comic platform for English readers into the ground. Bought Tapas and is also then doing nothing with it and then running it into the ground. Put your work where people actually give a shit about you, please. I am begging you. The Tapas app is bad. Tapas website UI, the new UI design is so bad. Everything is so bad. You guys saw the short I posted. If you haven't seen the short, go on my YouTube channel and watch the short I posted about uploading on Tapas. Do not do it to yourself. Anyway, let me see what else is there. Other questions. Some of my stream clips might make good shorts. Yeah, I mean, I have hired an editor who just sent me a message that says, bro, you just ranted about reading contracts for like 10 minutes straight. This ain't a short. Yeah, he's right. He's right. I hate to say it. The boy is correct. I love him though. Kid's good. Kid's good. He's new and he's good at what he does. Tell GC we need customizable chapter covers. They already know that. There's nothing to say there, but they already know that, Ajani. But also more, Ajani, when I'm not working there, I am not working there, like completely. So when I'm off the clock, I'm deeply off the clock. The only way I can maintain doing all these different jobs mentally is by when I leave, I turn off the part of my brain that even thinks about my company. I know. I just wanted you to know. Like, I want it to be known. Like, as much as I work there and everything, they know that I will shit on them if they fuck up. It's just a known thing. It's a known variable. Webtoon wants a Swifty type fan base. Kind of, actually, Paris. Like, I wouldn't say that's unreasonable. I wouldn't say that's unreasonable. I was on, Sim, how am I? Sim, you're such a sweetheart, quite honestly. How am I doing? I'm doing okay, actually. I'm doing a lot of house renovation things. Like, I had to buy a new, like, of stove vent. So, you know, I'm on that shit. And that's just a little bit tiring. I'm doing a lot of fixing and stuff. My 3D printer is broken and I have to get a lot of stuff to fix it. You know, I'm just in a DIY space right now. But I'm feeling really good overall. I'm going to Luffy's birthday tomorrow, one of my friends. That's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun. The ceiling lamp is coming tomorrow, so we'll see if that works, Gleamy. I was on Tapas for a year before I figured out to read the comments. Yeah, Tapas's website was always poorly designed, but I think the old design at least had like heart in it. You know what I mean? Now it's just bad. Is Inkverse a good alternative to Webtoon? That's a complicated question, Alvin. I have a lot of thoughts about Inkverse. Okay, I'm gonna start off with this. Inkverse is run by my buddy Dan, who is also a patron, who is also a friend. Like, I need to be very upfront. He is a pal. One of my other friends worked there, Eleanor. Lovely people. The loveliest people ever. And I want to, I tell you guys these things so you know what my biases are. So you can decide how to approach me when I tell you stuff, right? And so Inkverse is run by two people I think are amazing, lovely people and are working on a project in a way that I don't, strictly speaking, like, but I think deserves success. Like, I don't like the exact processes through which they're doing things. They know that. I've told them that before. But I think they deserve success. And I think what they're doing is so platform agnostic in the way that it works that it's super worth putting yourself there because you get a pseudo platform agnostic space to work in. And I think that's really important. The technology that they have behind it is great. The people who work there are wonderful people and very supportive and very hardworking. Like, if you go to Inkverse, you end up talking with Eleanor, and like, she will literally help you run your life if she has to. She'll do anything she can to support you. And I think one of the most important things about a platform that you're going to work in is like, you know, the supportiveness of it all, right? Like it may sound really dumb, but like a platform needs to show you that they're willing to help you. One of the reasons I really like Global Comics is that it feels like that. One of the reasons I really respect Namikomi is that it also feels like that whenever I go talk to people who are there. It just feels supportive. Inkverse doesn't work like that. I think it focuses a lot on its phone app. Iliac, a lot of comic places focus on phone apps. I should just let you know, Iliac. Like the phone and the tablet are the major reading vectors. Desktop readers of and users of most things make up about 20% of users, if not less. So caring about them is actually a very low priority for most people, as it should be. Like desktop users just aren't very valuable. So it's not that the companies don't care. It's just it's expensive to make applications and websites, and so running after them, running after people like that is not worth it. It doesn't have ads, Iliac. It doesn't have ads. Inkverse doesn't have ads. Anyway, did you know that a duck's quack has an echo? It's just very quiet. I did know that actually. Um, Taylor is oh lol. Okay, you guys are having the Taylor conversation. Global Comics is pretty good. Actually, Iliac asked a question earlier, and I'll bring this up. We're talking about where do I put more mature content. Right now, the platform for mature content is Namikomi and Global Comics. That's it. I don't mean mature instead of porn, not porn. Namikomi and Global Comics are the platforms that I think are best for, and Inkverse to an extent, are the platforms that are best for just more adult content, right? There's a line. There's a line on all these platforms, and the line is very clear, and you should always read your TOS anywhere you go. But they are more accepting of slightly more adult themes. But it's like, careful. No, Namikomi is not the NFT one. That's oh god, it was called Zero X Manga. It changed its name to something. I forget. It's in the list. We have a list of every comic platform on the Discord. By the way, you can join our Discord. Discord.webcomicshub.co.uk. Discord.webcomicshub.co.uk. Join it. I think it's super worth it. We talk about lots of comic stuff on there. Show up, be an active member, join the VCs, and we're currently doing an event right now. It's actually really cool. We're doing a Discord event. Oh yeah, the link is in the chat and stream, and I think there's one for YouTube too. Let me see if I actually put the feature in. I probably didn't. But there is. I didn't do it. I didn't put the. Someone put the link in. Put the link in YouTube, please. Someone copy the link to YouTube. Anyway, on the Discord, we're currently doing an event, and it's also on Twitter, called what do you call it? Most hottest webcomic faces. So you give me the face of your character, and next week's stream, we're going to do a tier list of all the webcomic faces. It's got to be from your comic, but that's it. That's the only requirement from your comic. Oh yeah, Inky, it's in the video description. Look at you. Inky knows my channel better than I know my channel. I'm fighting for my life out here, guys. How's Voice Me doing? Terribly. Nothing good I've heard. Do you think Namikomi would take you, Slam? Slam, yes. I think Namikomi would take you. I don't think you should worry about that. Thank you, Kylie. Oh, my mods come clutch. All my mods always come clutch. Remember, your questions can be as deep as you want. It can be related to this. It can be outside of this. So don't feel bad about what questions you ask me. Just ask me a question. I'm always happy to answer it and talk to you about it. Trust me, there's almost nothing you can ask me that I don't have an answer to. There's very few things I don't have an answer to these days. I'm reaching that age where you just know things, and I hate it. Makes me feel old. It just makes me feel really old. I hate it right now. Why did you let me upload to Tapas? Honestly, Kylie, I should have stopped you. I'll do it next time. What do I think Webtoon is going soon in the dumpster? No. Webtoon is like, look, let me tell you a quick story. Back in the day, there used to be this platform called Blip.tv. And Blip.tv was like the better Webtoon. It had an episode structure, so creators that created in episodic formats could actually upload their content and be watched in episodic structure. It was a website that looked a little bit better than YouTube from what I remember, and it just was cooler. I loved Blip. Blip was doing well, but eventually Google buys YouTube, and Blip can't survive anymore. Because it's hard to fight the behemoth that is Google. Blip folds. I think every platform is kind of always one Google buying YouTube away from folding. Every platform, right? It's one big conglomerate spends an absurd amount of money away from folding. And I think Webtoon is always going to be there, especially when they upset the people that work there. Blip lost people because it started just being fucking weird to be there for a bit. I don't remember the specifics, but it stopped being as good. And so every platform is always one thing away. VidMe also had this problem. And one of the problems with platforms is that they think that it's a me and you thing. They think that the platform and the reader users are in one team. The truth is that's never been true. The platform has motivations, users have motivations. When those two things align, the two of them work amazingly. When those two things lose focus, they hate each other. And what's happening right now is Webtoon's motivations have lost focus with what you call it. Webtoon's motivations have lost focus with creators' motivations. So right now we're experiencing a lot of tension. They can fix this. They can they can realign as a company. They can focus on what matters to the creators and themselves at the same time, looking for a symbiotic way for everybody for line to go up. But a lot of platforms don't want to do that. And I don't know why. I'm curious about what you think about the contract evolution of Webtoon, how that compares to traditional publishing or even other content farms. I can't talk about traditional publishing, no experience in that. People I know who have worked with traditional publishing say that Webtoon contract is not unusual, especially for first-time creators. But it depends on which one they see, right? As for the content farms, Webtoon's contract is pretty bad. It's pretty bad in my experience. But you need to remember, books and comics are a very specific kind of space, and they make less money. They just do. The current book environment doesn't make as much money per unit as most other content environments do, because the structures that they've built for themselves are so limiting, right? So because of that, Webtoon is allowed to offer lower amounts. Like, what I'm just saying is this: if I make a banger Mr. Beast video, 250 million views, right? I make so much money. I can sell ad spots for crazy amounts of money. I can do so many things because the structures for revenue are crazy advanced and developed. The book industry is very insular, mostly run by private companies, and these companies don't like to change. And so the upper amount of what could be earned by the individual book creator is always stay kind of the same or lower. And so it's not making as much money as it could. So Webtoon gets to come in and offer less money. So is it worse than other content farms? For sure. Is it worse than other book spaces? I doubt it, because book spaces are kind of exploitative right now. It's an industry that just isn't making as much money as it should be making, because it's never really leaned into other vectors of monetization until quite recently. We might see this change, but not right now. If Webtoon offered me an original comic contract, would I take it? Yes. Yes. I hate to say it. I have a lot of IP I don't care about. I have a lot of IP I don't care about. And like, I also know that I'm not the kind of person who works beyond a certain limit. My job knows that I clock out most days on time, unless I'm like having a real unless I'm having like a real like rough day. I clock out on time most days. You can ask. I think one of my coworkers is in the chat. You can ask them. I clock out pretty on time most times, and like I have a good mental framework that separates my work from my life, right? Although they of course they seep into each other, but I have a really good compartmentalization system, and so I'm super happy to sell a shit IP, pay a creator most of the money from the webtoon. I just want to have a comfortable life. Like, I don't need money. This is another thing, right? So I'm in a position where like, yeah, I don't really like, need money to live, right? So I'm in a position where like I'm okay with Webtoon paying me the money and me just paying an artist all the money. having them make my shit IP sell. And when it's done and when I finish writing it and when it's out there, I'm then happy to like focus and make a bigger one for more money elsewhere. So like for me, for the way my life is structured, for the way I structure myself, it works. If you're a creator who needs comics to make money and you're being put into this box with Webtoon, I do not think you should do that with something you care about. And I do not think you should take that contract unless it pays you enough money for where you live. If you live in a country where you know $2,000 a month is going to change your goddamn life, there's a lot of places like that. There's a lot of places like that. Where I grew up as a kid, $2,000 a month right now is life changing money. And so if you live in those places, pick an IP you don't give a shit about. I need you to even make one up. Make one up. Clone an IP if you must. Don't like copy it, but like make a rough clone. Like, write something that's basically Star Wars, but like in France. You know what I'm trying to get at here? Like, do something like that. And then just like give it to them. Don't steal anyone's IP, but like really lean on the edge of just, I'm writing something I don't care about. And if you can do that and pump out art and like, go for easy wins where you can, I think you should do it. Get the bag. If you can even grow an audience that way, do it. Fuck it. Yeah. Would I expose the Webtoon contract if I find something shady? Yeah. I need you to understand something, right? I respect people and not companies. An NDA is a suggestion to me. I need you to understand that so closely. I respect people and not companies. The reason why my company, the information from the job I work is something I keep private is because the people who told me that information are people I respect. I respect all of them, right? And so I respect them and I don't talk. The reason why I keep things when I talk to people and I'm talking to them and it's all like in a situation where I'm saying it's off the record. The reason I keep that is because we have a mutual respect between ourselves. When I say off the record, it's because I respect you, and when you tell me something off the record, you respect me. You engage with my time in a meaningful way, right? And so that's a back and forth that like is corroborative. If somebody breaches that respect, they breach that like safety barrier. So like if Webtoon gave me a contract and I signed it and then like they tried to fuck me over, like I'm gonna do what Kanye West did when he was like when he basically took pictures of his contract with his label and just tweeted them on social media. That would be me. So like don't like just don't lie to me. Just don't lie to me. Don't disrespect me, and we're good. Like that's it. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for much. Just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. Don't lie to me, and we will work well together all the time, every single time. A mortgage ad is so crazy. Let's see. Folks taking contracts now don't really need them. It's complicated, right? Like a lot of creators need contracts, and a lot of them don't. But I will say this to everybody: if somebody's offering you a contract, it's because your IP is valuable, because they've determined your IP to be valuable, and not just one person. A room of people determined your IP to be valuable, right? And so if somebody's offering you a contract, I want you to think to yourself, what can I do with my IP right now? And I need you to think bigger. Don't think shallow, because a lot of creators do this, right? Like if you tell them, hey, a creator will show up and be like, I just don't know what to do with my IP. Well, just think broader. Think like, oh, could I, if I work a few more months and I save up enough money, could I possibly make an animated short? Would that hype up my audience? Could I do some surveys of my audience to learn what they like so that I can develop my IP? IP development is just taking your IP and doing more shit with it. If you can do it on your own, you don't need Webtoon. You just don't need Webtoon. That's just the truth. Use them to get an audience, but you don't need them beyond that. And you can do that all on your own. It sounds exhausting and time consuming, but that's what being a solo business person is. And you can handle that. Thank you, Paris. I hope you participate. I really want you to. Have a good day. Go stop. Please don't work yourself into the ground. Um, like you can go to conventions, you can make your own merch, you can do lots of stuff. Namikomi isn't very picky about art. Yeah, Namikomi's pretty chill. They're actually pretty chill. Nintendo Sweet beat you with the yoink and twist with public domain like Disney. Yeah, if you want to get something to a contract, yoink and twist it, baby. Just do it. Or you can do what Kesha did: sign a contract, make one hit song, hate the person who gave you the contract, produce no work for the entire length of the contract, and then like the contract will lapse. You could just do that too. Love that for her, to be honest. I wish I could. I wish I could pull a Kesha on Webtoon. That'd be really funny. She did not get paid for most of that time, though. So be aware of the fact that breaching your contract also means you don't get paid. Anyway, if that's every question, if that's everything everyone wants to ask me, I really appreciate it. Tell me what you like. If you're watching this stream and you're getting to this point, let me know what you're thinking about all the stuff we talked about today in the comments. I will respond. I literally always respond to comments. Okay, Johnny, I'm still here. Answer. Okay, fine. Ask your questions. Stop bullying me. Ask your goddamn questions. Jesus Christ. Fucking streamers, dude. The era of Webtoon is not the start of the era of webcomic artist exploitation. True, Inky, true. Pie stream. Okay, all right, fine. I am going to do a stream. I'm going to put a date on it right now in front of everybody. On the 26th of May. On the 26th of May, I am going to do a stream where I bake a sweet potato pie live in front of everybody. My cameras, everything working with my laptop in my kitchen. I will do it there. 25th of May. Okay? 25th of May. That'll be my stream for that week. I will bake that sweet potato pie and I will explain why this matters then. What about creating a platform for advertising comics? That's not a good system. Top Web Comics is a great example of why that just doesn't work. A system that exists just the cheese stream has not been dropped. It's just we've not made the money for the cheese stream yet. We'll do that if cheese stream happens at £50 per month on Patreon. That's the truth. Cheese stream at £50 per month on Patreon. If I get £50 per month on Patreon, I will sit down and I will rate every cheese. I will buy one of every cheese I can find in the UK and sit down, eat it, and rate it on a stream with you. I promise. Full camera, full face. You'll be able to watch me eat it. How do we get the word out about hidden gems, Iliac, for comics? It's hard, man. Like, it's a system of okay, so I want to talk to you guys about a theory I have. Like, this is legitimately a theory, but hear me out. Tell me if I'm crazy. I think that a healthy industry for media requires a couple of things. One of the things that it really requires is a media machine. What I'm talking about is a system through which people who have engaged with a piece of content are energized, and they take that energy and they use it to make something that talks about that piece of content. It's why I want to start doing reviews, and why I started doing reviews this month, and we'll hopefully try and do them at least a few this year, right? Because a lot of comics energize me. But to build that system of energizing, that gets people to talk about your work, about lots of other people's work, you need a monetization incentive structure, right? So here's a great example of what I'm talking about. When tech was becoming big on YouTube, what happened was people in the tech industry noticed, and they started sponsoring tech YouTubers every single day, right? They started putting money where it mattered, and what happened was it increased the number of people talking about tech in general. Now I have an NVIDIA graphics card in my computer, right? When movies were getting more talked about on YouTube, movie studios and people who make stuff for movies and people who make lighting gear and editing software started advertising on YouTubers who make videos about movies channels, which led to more people watching more movies, hearing about more movies, and making more tools for movies, right? It's a structure of it's a recursive feedback loop. And what comics has never had and still doesn't have is one, a marketing machine where they actually try and fund it, and two, a focus on the future. Movies have done a really good job of looking forward and making changes as needed. But comics have done everything they can to stay in the exact same structure that they have been in since the 30s, like, or whatever along the 60s. Doesn't matter. They just haven't changed. They just don't want to change. Comics stay exactly the same. They rely on the same marketing mechanisms. They rely on the same systems of making money. They do not look beyond their current structure. And while that is currently changing, it is so goddamn slow that we got here, dude. Video games were talking and making videos of themselves and making content and making marketing systems, marketing content before comics were. And video games are newer than comics. I don't know. Like, it's a frustrating thing. How do we get the word out about hidden gems? Support people who talk about comics a lot more, because that allows the money to flow to them so that there can be more people to talk about it. But if you spend a lot of the time, but the platforms right now that we exist, the companies in the system that exist right now, just aren't like equipped for it, right? They just aren't equipped for it. Is making comics in a traditional comic page format better and just reformat for long strips, or long strip to page format? Page format to long strips. Always page format to long strips. If you must choose, page to long, never long to page. Oh, Blacklight Jax. Let me not get on this right now. I'm doing it. I'm streaming. I just don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. But like, I agree. Look, if you look on my channel, you'll see that I have a video on Sorted, one of my favorite webtoons, quite honestly. It was, and I wanted to talk about it, but I also wanted to learn how to edit for that kind of video. There are people who talk about comics a lot positively. My friend, one of my best friends of the recent times, and I don't think she would even admit that she is this good to me, but Rosie Bird TV, she talks about the comics that she loves. She cares about romance stuff, and she cares about like that kind of stuff. But the stuff she talks about are good for the genre that she's talking about. You know, they're good books, but also good within their genres. And so, if you want to find people who talk about like actual comics and stuff, go like individual comic that they like to read, go watch Rosie Bird TV's channel. You know, and if you know, one of my former editor, I say former, my current kind of like pseudo editor, Eight Requiems, has a channel where he talks about the comics that impact him emotionally, and he does it on his channel, Eight Requiems. There's a lot of people who do this stuff. There's a lot of people who do this stuff, and if you think that you can make us write about it and talk about it and make that interesting to understand, you should do that too. If you want a stage, you make a stage. This is 10 years of my life. If you want a stage, you make a stage, my dude. No one makes a stage for you. For the Love of Comics is a channel that goes over a lot of niche physical print books. Exactly. I started going over printed books that I started going over printed books on my shorts, which I don't think is doing that well, but I have been doing it. Even though outrage sells online, people love hearing about good things. And never underestimate the fact that people do. People care about good things happening all the time. They really do. Yeah, if you know, I'm happy to make a channel for people. You know, if you make good videos about comics, I'm happy to have you shared in the media channel. People want to see. I want to see. Really, I do. But if it sucks, just know that I'm going to be a dick about it. No, I won't be. But yeah, like, just, you know, we'll get there. The industry, the space for digital stuff is new. I've been doing this for 10 years. And I've shifted substantially from creator interviews to more journalism that's deeper and cares more about like industry trends. And I also still care about comic reviews, and I also still care about lots of other stuff. And it's just a game. It's a game, right? And we're all working towards the ideal outcome. It's just a matter of time. So I understand your impatience, but don't worry about it. And if you think you have a face for radio and a voice for print, I want you to know that that is never true, because lots of people do. And they still make content, and they still do well. One of my favorite reviewers for headphones, I hate to say it, he ain't good looking, but I love his reviews. And he knows how to run, he knows how to own that screen. He has a presence, and you build that with time. One thing I'm experimenting with right now is adapting to current media cultures like animation memes, shorts, TikToks, and it's working. Yes, thank you, 40. It is working. if you adapt and you change, it works. It really does. The industry should learn from my man 40, frankly. It's an important thing. We don't adapt and change fast enough. And it took me a long time to adapt and change properly, but I'm doing it a lot more now. And it works for me. It's been working for me. Anyway, despite all the crappy things that have been going on recently, I'm glad people are communicating their grievances. So at least now we know what's actually going down. Yes, I agree, Alvin. It's super important that people do that. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter if you think that you're not being listened to. Remember that people care about what is happening to you, not just as a person, although they do care about what's happening to you as a person, but as a fellow creative in the same field. Never feel bad about talking about it. Never feel withheld by guilt. And if you can't talk about it directly, talk about it to me or someone like me. It doesn't have to be me. Lots of people like me put their time into making content about this stuff so that your story can be told and your safety can be ensured. Okay? A few months ago, I broke the story on Webcomics app, and that was because the creators there were getting fucked over. This is also thanks to a really good friend giving me, trusting me with their information. So understand that it's not impossible for your information to be learned about. Please don't let yourself be a victim of a company that quite literally has no design sense. You're better than that. If someone's gonna take advantage of you, at least let them be good looking. God's sakes, don't let anyone take advantage of you. Please, that was a joke. That was a joke. Okay. My opinion on the Mr. Beastification era, I don't think it's bad. Also, the era is over. Mr. Beastification is over. That era is done. Even Mr. Beast said it himself. But also, I don't think it's bad. I think it's just we go through eras of content, right? We go through eras. People figure out what they like. The audience that actually controls content, children, get older. And so content shifts, right? And so I think it's cute. The end of it is good in a lot of ways, but I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss Jimmy standing on top of a building going, "We bought a 5,000-foot domino and we're gonna drop it on a 7-Eleven." That's literally the beginning of one video. The first 30 seconds of a video that he put out, he drops a giant domino and it crushes a 7-Eleven. What the fuck? Anyway. That's the most insane shit. Genuinely, I've watched 4 Mr. Beast videos in my life. And every time I watch them, I go, I get it. I would never watch this, but I get it. It's hilarious. Anyway, okay. If that's everything now, RSS feeds, we'll get to that some other day. If that's everything now, I'm going to start with this. Please remember to like the video, share, and subscribe. Subscriptions are good. They make me money. Views are good. They make me money. Shares also help me make money. Give this to your friend who likes to just sit down and draw and listen to stuff. If you don't follow me on Twitter already, follow me on Twitter at webcomics_hub. If you don't follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Blue Sky because everyone says I should use Blue Sky more. Follow me on Blue Sky, webcomicshub.co.uk on Blue Sky. Just look me up, Webcomics Hub. You'll find me. Yeah. Well, look out for my videos. Look out for my stream highlights, and join the Discord, discord.webcomicshub.co.uk, and that's it. Now I can leave. Remember to comment something, anything, even if you watch the stream, just leave me a comment. It helps the video boost. That's all. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for me. I mean it. It legitimately, it makes my life so much better every time I get to talk to you. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you to my patrons. You can become a patron at patreon.com/webcomicshub, by the way. Patreon.com/webcomicshub. From as little as $1 a month, you can give me that cash money. What was that? Anyway. Well, I have a Blue Sky. Goodbye. Good night, fellow gamers. Thank you.